So good morning everyone. So today we are going to start the revision of chapter number 1, environment. So let us look at the overview. What is environment? The environment basically it is made up of biotic, means the living and non-living things. It is our basic life support system. The air we breathe, the water we drink and the land we live on are all the part of the environment. So what is ecosystem? An ecosystem is a system of relationship between all the living and non-living parts of the environment. जितने भी living और non-living parts हैं हमारे environment के, उनके बीच का जो relation है, उसे हम लोग ecosystem बोलते हैं. Now humans change their environment to satisfy their growing needs for comfort and security. We have seen that the human beings keep on changing the environment. Now why do they do so? They do so because they want to satisfy their needs, and the needs of human beings are never ending. ये कभी खत्म ही नहीं होता. Now see, this is a very beautifully designed comics. The components of environment. See, this is a boy who is returning home and has seen some laborers working. So he asks, what's going on? The labor replies, a huge complex of flat is going to be built here. Now when he reaches the school, his teacher is teaching chapter environment only. So environment is whatever we are surrounded by. So one boy asks, ma'am, what does environment mean? The girl is thinking, so that means even the desks, chairs and the boards, all are the part of the environment? The teacher replies, some objects are created by nature, for example, trees, rivers, mountains, animals, and some others like roads, cars, clothes or books are created by us, means the human beings. And now the teacher has given some activity to do it in their class, so we are not supposed to look into it. Now see, the children are discussing something. The first girl says, how should we divide all the elements we can find in nature? There are so many. The second girl replies, let's have a look at these pictures. Elements are sometimes divided in natural, human-made and human themselves. There's a further division between living and non-living. Okay, so let us look at the division between the living and non-living components of the environment. Let us have a look. See, the elements of the environment consist of natural components, the humans and human-made. So in natural components, there are biotic and abiotic living things and non-living things. The abiotic components are sun, water, air, land, and the biotic components are plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, and many other things. Now let us look at the other components of the other elements of the environment. In humans, we have individuals. The individuals make families, and the families further make communities. Other one is human made. All the buildings, all the monuments, roads, bridges, parks come under the category of human made environment. Okay. Now the natural environment. What is the natural environment? Let us grab some knowledge about it. See, now the students are returning home from their school. Our teacher told us today that the hard top layer of the earth is called the lithosphere. It has all the rocks and soils and minerals. Yes, and I also know that landforms of the lithosphere are mountains, plateaus and plains. These are all things you might have studied in your previous class, class 6. So did you know these landforms can be found even on ocean floors? Ocean floors, you can find out these landforms. Now see, the children are enjoying over here. Rivers, oceans, lakes and seas are the part of it. We know it by the name of hydrosphere. So the water kingdom is known by the name of hydrosphere. Water kingdom is known by the name of hydrosphere. Please keep this in mind. Now fishes and all water animals live in it. So the fishes and other aquatic animals live in the hydrosphere. Even the hydrosphere is important for the human beings also. Just keep this in mind. Okay. Now let's go back to the other slide. Wow, the weather has changed. Why is it so windy? The boy replies that it changes because of the atmosphere. Now, what's the atmosphere? The girl replies, It's the thin layer of air that surrounds the earth and protects us from the heat of the sun. Now the children have almost reached their home. They are still discussing. Land, water, air, animals, humans, all are living together. What a wonderful nature it is. We can call this biosphere, means the mixture of lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere comprises biosphere. And in the biosphere only, all the plants, animals, birds, and everything lives or exists. Now let's see about the ecosystem and the human environment. See, the boy has reached his home. He's having a conversation with his grandfather. His grandfather greets him, "Hi dear, grandpa, I just learned what the word ecosystem is. It's the relationship that organisms have with each other and with their surrounding environments." Now his grandfather explains some further points. Precisely, and everything is linked by the transfer of energy and material. That's why you must recognize this harmony and respect it. Means the grandfather is telling this boy to respect the environment and the ecosystem. Just as bees use nectar from flowers to make honey, but they also help the flowers by pollinating them. So we are also supposed to take care of all the things which environment has rendered us. Of course, we are much more powerful than the bees. We take much more from nature, so we must also be much more careful about our environment. Now, what is human environment? See, this is the last discussion. After that, we will be starting the intro part of this chapter. You must have realized how much humans have changed and used the environment, adapting to it, to their needs. Oh, things are so different from when I was your age. Now this boy is urging his grandfather to tell some more stories related to his childhood. So we are not supposed to read about all those things. Now let's come back to the topic, introduction. Our environment is everything around us, the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal, or plant lives or operates. It also provides us the conditions for birth and growth of everything. Our environment changes constantly. हमारा जो वातावरण है, हमारा जो environment है, ये हमेशा बदलते रहता है. And it can become damage or harmful. अगर हम इसे damage or harmful कर सकते हैं, कर सकते नहीं है, करते ही हैं, तो ये बहुत जल्दी खराब भी हो सकता है. Now, let us learn about the natural environment. Everything that is natural around us, which has been given to us by the nature, it is a part of the natural environment. For example, the biotic parts, it refers everything relating to or resulting from living organisms. जो भी चीज हमें living organism से मिलता है, उसे हम लोग biotic parts of the environment कह सकते हैं. Now, the abiotic parts or abiotic parts, it refers to everything which is not derived from living organisms. जो भी चीजें हमें living organisms से नहीं मिलती हैं, उन्हें हम abiotic parts कहते हैं. Now, the lithosphere. It is, what is lithosphere? It is a solid outer part of the earth consisting of the crust and upper mantle. Lithosphere में crust भी होता है और upper mantle भी. Now humans mainly live on this domain. Humans or plants, mountains, valleys, सब कुछ इसी domain पे होती हैं. Now it has been derived from a Greek word lithos. Lithos का मतलब क्या होता है? Rocky. यानी कि lithosphere rock से बना हुआ. Now hydrosphere. It is a part of the earth that contains the water and it includes oceans, rivers, lakes, clouds, etc. The word hydrosphere is made up of two foreign words. Hydra means water and sphere means ball or area. Means एक ऐसा area which is full of water. Now what is atmosphere? This domain or part of the environment contains the air and all the necessary gases covering the planet and extends from the ground to many kilometers above the surface. ये हमारे ground से और काफी ऊपर तक, इनफैक्ट 400 किलोमीटर्स और 500 किलोमीटर्स तक ये एटमॉस्फेयर एक्सटेंडेड है. द वर्ड atmos means vapor. Vapor means gas. Now biosphere. What is biosphere? The biosphere is the living component of the environment. It is formed with the union. जब ये lithosphere, hydrosphere और atmosphere सब आकर के साथ में मिलते हैं, तब जाकर के biosphere का निर्माण होता है. And in this biosphere only, bio means life. In this biosphere only, all the microorganisms, plants, humans, birds, and all other animals exist or maintain their livelihood. Now, what is ecosystem? All living things need water, gases, and food from their environment. And an ecosystem is the network of relationships between the living and non-living things in an environment. तो ये क्या है? ये एक network of relationship है जो कि living और non-living things के बीच में होता है. उसे हम लोग ecosystem बोलते हैं. Now, for example, the oceans are an ecosystem because to stay alive, All the big and small fishes depend on each other. The water in the ocean, bacteria, plankton, dead matter, rocks, reefs in the ocean, etc. They are all interconnected. Now, what is the human environment? Humans, like all birds and animals, depend on the environment for the food and for the purpose of security. So, like all animals, humans started by adapting to and changing their environments a little by little to suit their needs. But today, we change environment a lot more than we did in the past. आज हम लोग development के नाम पे environment को बहुत बुरे तरीके से treat कर रहे हैं. Means we are using all the resources provided to us by the environment very indiscriminately. We are not using it judiciously. We have cleared many forests. We have set up farms over there. हम लोगों ने वहाँ घर बना लिया, ऑफिस बना लिया, shops बना लिया, roads, factories, parks, ये सब बना लिया. Now these are the parts of the human-made environment. So what is the conclusion in this chapter? All the parts of the environment, be it living and non-living, can live and grow only if they are in harmony with each other. But as humans progress, we must not disturb the environment. Instead, we must care for natural ecosystems such as forests, rivers, etc. so that the future generations also can continue to get the food and the security from the environment. Means we are supposed to develop, but we are supposed to choose the part of sustainable development. ताकि हम खुद development तो करें ही, लेकिन future generations के needs के साथ कोई भी indiscriminate behavior ना रखें. Now let us look at the question answers. What is an ecosystem? The ecosystem is formed by the interaction of all living things with each other and with the physical and chemical factors of the environment in which they live, all linked by the transfer of energy and material. It is known as ecosystem. Now, what do you mean by natural environment? The basic components and organisms that are naturally present in the environment without any human involvement, like the land, water, air, plants, and animals. They all together comprise to form the natural environment. Now, which are the major components of the environment? The major components of the environment are the natural components, which consists of air, water, land, and living things. Human-made components, which consist of the human beings. And the human components, which consist of the human populations. Human-made components consist of bridges, roads, buildings, parks, and many other things. Now, give 4 examples of a human-made environment. 4 examples of a human-made environment are given over here. Now, what is lithosphere? It is the solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth on which we walk. It is known as lithosphere. It is an irregular surface with various landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. Now, which are the 2 major components of the biotic environment? Plants and animals are the 2 major components of the biotic environment. Now, what is biosphere? Biosphere, it is also known as the living world. It is the narrow zone of the earth. बहुत ही narrow zone है ये earth का, जहाँ पे लिथोस्फीयर, हाइड्रोस्फीयर और एटमॉस्फेयर आकर के कंबाइन करते हैं, तब जाकर के बायोस्फीयर बनता है. Now, these are tick the correct options. The answers are given over here. You all can have a look. These are match the following. Here are the answers. You can pause the video and watch it. Now, give reasons. Man modifies his environment. Why? So, man modifies his environment to fulfill his basic needs. अपने basic needs को fulfill करने के लिए man environment में बदलाव लाते रहता है. As it is the basic life support system, he builds houses to live in and the industries to work in, which modifies the environment and also its mineral wealth. Now, humans have used the fossils for their development, disturbing the ecological system. Human beings ने ecological system को काफी disturb किया है. And animal habitats. The plants and animals depend on each other. Plants and animals are interdependent on each other because plants are the producers and animals are the consumers. Plants release oxygen in the atmosphere, which is inhaled by human beings, and humans exhale carbon dioxide, which helps plants in producing their own food. Now, let's look some of the interesting facts. Now, fact number 1. We all know that the World Environment Day, the United Nations Environment Program has declared 5th of June as the World Environment Day. Now, fact number 2. Number of insects in tropical forests. A study has shown that there are possibly over 30 million species of insects living together in the canopies of tropical forests. 30 million species of insects are there. Now, what do you mean by the term cryosphere? The cryosphere is the frozen part of the hydrosphere. It is made up of ice caps, icebergs, and glaciers. Now, harmful aluminium. I have made a video also related to this topic, the ill effects of aluminium. You all can watch it. Now, because it cannot be recycled, aluminum foil wrap is very harmful to the environment. We should not wrap our food in aluminum foils. Now, fact number 5, why seasons change. Seasons and seasonal changes in climate are direct results of the tilt of the earth towards or away from the sun. Earth is tilted on its axis और ये जैसे ही सन से दूर जाता है तो यहाँ पे ठंड का मौसम आ जाता है हमारे देश में. जैसे ही ये क्या कहते हैं सन के काफी करीब आ जाता है तो फिर गर्मी का मौसम आता है और अकॉर्डिंगली ये चेंज होते रहता है. ओके